Welcome to Destiny of Cards. Today we're doing a deck profile of the new Kagero deck that have been boosted from GPT-07. So yes, GPT-07 have been released officially as of today and everywhere in your card shop that you can get, not just in Singapore. Okay, so basically this card is a starter will be running this Draco kit, this new Draco kit. So basically it's a starter that help Blaze. So what is Blaze? So Blaze basically activate when the start of the each attack, so long your rear guard is more than your opponent's, your Vanguard will become Blaze in Blaze until end of turn. So Blaze ability among all the keywords I think is one of the most easiest to take place because it can, even your Vanguard do not have Blaze ability, you can gain Blaze because all the rear guard actually can support giving your Vanguard the Blaze ability. So yeah, so long your Vanguard have is in Blaze, most of the card in this deck will actually take place. Very easy. So we'll be running this starter. So basically this starter's effect is Counterblast GB1, Counterblast 1, put this card into a soul. Check top 5 for your deck. Look among them for one card with Blaze ability or a grade 3 unit. Okay, then call it to rearguard circle. So then shuffle your deck. Further on, if your Vanguard is Dragonic Blademaster in the card name, until during the end phase, you can return that card that's being caught by this effect to your hand. It's pretty easy, very good to use this effect because you can actually add something from the deck to field, call it to field, and actually can be either attacker or booster. End of turn, you can return it back to hand and then it become your guard power. It can be, you can even call your Kanzen down. Yeah, so because our Kanzen, that perfect guard in this deck is going to be running the new GPT-07's perfect guard, which actually have the Blaze ability. So it's very easy to recruit it out, then boost, and turn, return it to your hand by this Draco Kid's effect. Now we move on to the grade 3. As you know, this deck is based on Dragonic Blademaster, hence we have the starter Dragonic Blademaster itself. So Dragonic Blademaster's effect is continuous GB2. All your front rows gain 5000 power. This card gain 5000 power and 1 critical so long your opponent's rear guard is less than this card, less than yours. So meaning you have during your turn, so long you have more rear guard than your opponent, you gain 5000 and 1 critical power. So only for this card. So for the strike on skill is when you strike, you may pay the cost, Counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guard and retire. So yeah, this is the ability of Dragonic Blademasters. Next, we'll run new card from GPT-07. Okay, so this card is having a Blaze ability. So yeah, so the top effect is Blaze. The second effect is Vanguard Rearguard skill. So it's very good card for this card, especially if let's say you call by the starter. So basically this card's effect is when you attack the Vanguard, if your Vanguard is in Blaze, is blazing, this card will gain 5000 power until end of the battle. So if it's your 16k attacker plus your booster, so opponent is forced to guard with 15k. So this deck, Blaze deck is basically control your opponent's field yet you gain power. So it's a pretty good new strategy of Kagero. So it's a good effect since it's a Vanguard Rearguard skill. So you can actually call it to rearguard and then you can have the Blaze and then get 5000 power. It's about 5000 power. Imagine your field is Blademaster. Yeah, so you're having these two. Since give Blaze ability, so long your opponent rearguard because then 5k, 5k, 5k. Even you do not strike on because you have a 5k 1 crit, so you actually is 16,000, 16,000, 16,000 with the booster. Opponent is forced to guard 15k each. Of course, now with G Guardian, it might not be working so well, but it's up to how you build the deck and your gameplay. Now we move on to grade 2. We'll run 3 copies of Twilight Arrow Dragon. So this is a GPT-01 card. So basically when this card attack the Vanguard, if this card is being boosted, you may pay the cost Counterblast 1. If you do, choose one of opponent grade 2 and below and retire. So this is your retire mechanism. This card doesn't have Blaze ability. Next, we will run this new card from GPT-07. So basically this card have Blaze ability, so it's one of your Blaze card. So the rearguard skill is when this card attack the Vanguard, if your Vanguard is in Blaze blazing, you until end of that battle you gain 2000 power plus the GB1 skill. So what's the GB1 skill? It's basically when this card's attack hit the Vanguard, counter charge 1. So this is your actually your pressure cards. It's your 11k attacker and you have the skill of counter charge. So since Counter Blast in this deck is kind of heavy, so it's good to have this card to be there to pressure your opponent. Okay, so but however, if let's say in early game, you actually can gain the Blaze ability, even though let's say your Vanguard, your opponent Vanguard is grade 2, it doesn't matter because you do not need GB to gain Blaze. So for this card wise, is your 11k attacker so long you're in Blaze. So it's pretty good, even though you don't gain the counter charge skill, you still gain the 11k. Next, we move on to the next grade 2 of the deck, Radiant Dragon. So this is the new grade 2, kind of counterpart to Twilight Arrow, just that it's kind of better in some way. Okay, so basically this card is, when this card is called Rearguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Dragonic Blademaster in this card name, you may pay the cost, which is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or less unit, retire it. Until end of turn, this unit gain 2000 power. And the skill, for each opponent, if your Vanguard is in Blazing, for each opponent's open Rearguard Circle, this unit gain 2000 power. So this is continuous. So long your opponent intercept or what, you straight away gain the 2000 power because it's a continuous effect. Because until end of turn, you gain that skill. But of course, after that, this card will become a vanilla monster of a 9k attacker. But on-call skill is quite strong. So this is kind of like your Narukami effect, but just that this is Kagero. Next, we move on to the grade 1 of the deck. So basically, we run 2 copies of this card from GPT-07. GPT-01. Okay, so when your opponent's unit is being retired by a card effect of yours, this card will gain 5000. So let's say you strike on, if this guy's on the field, you strike over this card, you already got retire, so you'll gain 5000 power. Then you can have, let's say maybe Twilight Arrow attack, gain another 5000 power, stackable. So you call this card retire 1, gain 5000 power again. So actually this card is your power base, so you keep gaining 5000, 5000, 5000. It's just like your Eradicator. Yeah, it's just that this is Kagero. Yes, the base power is 6000, so do take note, if let's say you do not retire your opponent unit, 9 plus 6 is only 15,000, so your opponent can guard with 5k to guard. However, if let's say you retire, then it's a different story. Next, we move on to another GPT-01 card. This deck runs 4 copies of Lava Flow Dragon. So basically, this is your Dragonic Blademaster deck. So of course, we'll be running Lava Flow, since the main effect is to recruit out your Dragonic Blademaster. So when this card is called to the Rearguard Circle from your hand, you may reveal a grade 3 from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a grade 3 card with Dragonic Blademaster in its card name, add to your hand, then choose a card from your hand and discard it. Okay, so the next effect is Strike. Where if you use this card as the cost for Strike, this card get 2 grade. So it's a grade 3. Next, we run the new card from GPT-07. 4 copies of this new Dragonite. So basically, this is one of the strong common card. Suki is a kind of a duplicate of this card. Just that it's a 7k base and it's a once per turn instead of that one you can stack on. Okay, so basically this card skill is when your Vanguard, when your opponent's Vanguard is being retired by the card effect, if your Dragonic Blademaster in its card name until end of turn, this card gain the skill. If your Vanguard become Blaze, so long your Vanguard straight away become Blaze, at the point of time, if you have this card on your field, this card gain one counter charge. So you can counter charge one, then choose one, and this card gain 4000 power. So it's your 11k booster. So basically this card is very good in this deck because since it's very easy to obtain the Blaze ability in this deck, because it's all about retiring our opponent's unit. Next, we run the new Perfect Guard as we mentioned earlier on. This is the new Blaze Perfect Guard. So basically, when this card is called to the rear guard circle from your hand, choose one Vanguard. The attack cannot be hit. Okay, so the next is of course Blaze ability. Lastly, the last skill is when at the end of the battle, end of the turn, if your Vanguard is in Blaze, and then you pay the cost, so plus one and return this card to hand. However, if let's say you caught this card about the starter, you do not need to so plus one because since this card will return it for free. Okay, now we move on to the trigger line out. We run 2 copies of Seal Dragon Apache. So it's your Margal clone. So this is the only non-GBT G era card in this deck. Yeah, other than that, everything here is G era card. So it's kind of G regulation, just that we have this trigger that is non-G. Making this whole deck is non-G because we have just 2 cards that's not correct. But if you want to replace it with Vanilla from BTO 3 or 1, you can actually include them. It's up to your preference. Next, we run, of course, 4 copies of Hue Trigger. Hue Trigger now have become very important in the game since it's a card that let you call your G Guardian. Next, this deck run 8 critical. So we were running 4 of the new critical and 4 of the Dragonic Blademaster's critical. So basically, when your Vanguard grade 3 or above, with Dragonic Blademaster in its card name attack, you may put this card into your soul, draw a card, and give the Vanguard 5000 power. Lastly, we run 2 copies of the new Stand Trigger. Okay, so when this when your Vanguard is in Blaze, you can become Blaze. You can put this card in the bottom of your deck, then draw a card, then choose one of your unit and get one of your Vanguard and get 5000 power. Shuffle your deck after that. Okay, next we will go into the G zone. Okay, since this is a Dragon Blademaster, we are running the Dragonic Blademaster Titan. So basically, this card skill is Counterblast 1. Choose a card in your G zone, turn it face up, and then for each copy of your Titan in your G zone, you can choose one of opponent's rear guard, retire it. Okay, so it's a very good card because it's your mass retire. Let's say you have 3 open, you can choose 3 of your opponent's rear guard and then retire them. Okay, so the next skill is you gain the continuous skill. If your Vanguard is in a Blaze, this card gain critical +1, so it's your critical 2 card. Next, we run 2 copies of Novell. Novell is the new strongest ace card of Kagero. So basically, this card is Counterblast 1, choose itself, so Persona flip, then until end of turn, you gain the skill. When these cards attacking, your opponent cannot use grid 1 to guard. Okay, so the next skill is, so long it's a continuous skill, so long your opponents have 5 damage or higher, any trigger rebuild is negated by of your opponents. Next, we run 2 copies of Mustafa. So colorless 1, then choose a card in your G zone, turn it face up. Okay, so when this card attack the Vanguard, you may pay the cost, and then colorless 1, choose a card face up, and then turn it face up, then choose one of your opponent's regard, retire it, and then until end turn, choose one of your unit, anything, you can choose Mustafa itself or any other regard, gain the skill. When this card attack hit the Vanguard, counter charge 1. Next, we run 2 copies of Flare Dragon. This is your column destroyer and anti-resist kind of thing, because it's aiming the circle. So basically this card, choose one of your opponent's regard. So if let's say your opponent's back row is actually resist, you can choose the front regard. Choose the front regard, it auto retire the resist unit. But if let's say both are having resist, you can't choose them at all. However, this card is Persona Flip itself for free. Yes, no counterblast required. Retire 1 column. Column is front and back. Okay, next we run 1 copy of Vortex Desire. So when this card attack the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. Choose a card in your G zone, turn it face up. Another free cost. So when this card, until after this card gain the skill. When this cards attack hit the Vanguard, for each Flame Dragon in your Vanguard. So let's say if you strike over Blademaster, there's actually 2 Flame Dragon, himself and Eve. But let's say it's a Legion unit, then you strike over a Legion unit is 1 to 3, so you can retire 3 unit instead. So yeah, so if let's say for this deck, basically it's a Dragonic deck, so you will get to retire 2 unit. Next we run Resist Dragon. Resist Dragon is the new very strong grid 3 strike form, because when this card attack hit the Vanguard, choose, you will pay the cost, so plus 1. That's all. It's for almost for free like that. Then choose one of your opponent's regard, retire every unit in the same row. Yeah, so this is unlike Root Flare. Root Flare is column, this is row. So if let's say you choose the back row, you regard at the back row, you retire everything of the back row. However, if you let's say you choose the front row, you are basically destroying only 2 of the front row unit, which is the left and right regard circle. Now you go to G Guard. We run 2 copies of the original G Guardian that came with Fighter Collection. So when this card is called the Guardian Circle, if the number of regard on your opponent's field is 4 or less, you gain 5000 shield power. Next, we run the new G Guardian. So Denial Griffin. So when this card is called the Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. Colorless 1, retire 1 of your opponent regard that is attacking. So this is kind of like your trap card, because your opponent can have very high power for the regard, but once you call this card, you actually destroy it, and the battle will not take place because the attacking unit is being destroyed. So anything that activates during end of the battle will not be triggered. However, cards like, for example, opponent use this card, or any variant card that has similar skill, it will still take place because it's when this card is being boosted while attacking. So it doesn't activate at the end of battle, but it's activate upon that period. So this card cannot actually stop it. However, it can stop cards such as Darkside Princess from Pure Moon, because it's end of the battle that you attack, you'll go back to the soul. So there's no end of battle if you use Denial Griffin. So we hope that you enjoyed today's deck profile. Do like and subscribe to us, and do share the video. Until next time, see you.